Thank you, Minda, for gracing us with your presence. There's so
I'm
much
so happy.
yeah, that I'd love to ask and to just kind of dive in into who you're being these days. I'm going to ask you a very vague question,
Yeah.
and that question is, how did you get here?
Here with you.
And however it resonates with you.
Here with you in this moment. Well, I mean, it all started back in Morocco with you. It actually started um, at a table in Birmingham where
Mm.
I think I sat 2 seats away from you and didn't talk to you one time. And afterwards, I thought that was lame. So I reached out to you and we got on a call. And then you flew to Morocco to hang out with me for a day, a night. And that, I mean, what amazing magic is that? That's how it happens.
It is. It is. And like, of course, I feel blessed, that I was able to even like do that. To just be like,
Yeah.
hey, yeah, sure. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
meet in Morocco.
Well, that was amazing. It really was. And it was such a fun night. We had such a great conversation at dinner. Um, then we went and just all over the hold on, what is it called? What are the
Medina.
yeah, all over the Medina looking for leather.
Yes. Yes, which I still have and still smells like camel to this day.
Hey, you know what? You got all of Morocco. Why would you want leather that doesn't smell like camel from Morocco? That's my question.
Great question.
Pointless. Pointless. So yeah, that's how I got here.
Mm. Hmm. Yeah. And I'll ask you another vague question,
Yeah.
which is who are you being this way these days? Who are you creating yourself to be?
Man, this is a big question. I'm gonna just I'm just gonna talk about this moment because I feel like I am so many things. So right here in this moment, I'm being so comfortable with you. I mean, I sometimes think about being on a podcast or an interview, and I'm like, okay, I probably need to do some preparation. What are we going to talk about? What are we with you? I was like, oh, I can't wait. I cannot wait to do this. Like, we're just going to get on and we're going to see where it goes and have a great, and we can't go wrong. We can't go wrong with this. So I'm being spontaneous. I'm being love. I'm being commitment. I'm being fun. And I'm available. I'm really being available for whatever shows up in this
Mm.
conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. There's some things that you're up to that I'd like to ask you about.
Yeah.
Like this rereading of The Way of Mastery. Like, how
Mm.
did that happen? What does that book mean to you? Like,
Hmm.
what's going on here?
Well, so for me, it's actually not a rereading. I've never picked up the book.
Wow.
It has been in my radar. I've heard about it a lot. It's one of those things that feels like a huge undertaking. Like if I was going to go climb a mountain, and I wouldn't just go climb the mountain, and I probably wouldn't do it by myself. And so, when someone says, Minda, you want to go climb the mountain? I went, I didn't go all the way up to Mount Rainier to the top, but I did a really good like hike around the base, and I never would have done that by myself. But I had a friend that said, hey, Minda, a group of us are doing this, and all you have to do is send me a Venmo, and I've got everything covered. And that's kind of what this group was like. I feel like we're going to be hiking a mountain for 3 years together. It's a 3-year commitment, which for some reason I didn't have an issue with that at all. That wasn't a thing for me. But when my heart, this is how things work for me. I usually know nothing about it. I just know that my body, it's a holy hell yes. And then I'm like, I can't wait to see what unfolds. This is what happened when I spent 3 months in France by myself. When we knew we needed to go to India, I know I'm going to Egypt here soon. I don't know why, but I know I'll find out. And so that's kind of the approach with this for me. And that's the fun and the mystery and the magic and the adventure is I have really no idea. I mean, I love Jesus. I love me some Jesus. So I'm already in with that. I've been studying Jesus my whole life. But I also realize this book isn't about Jesus. This really is not a book about Jesus. This is a book about being in the vibration of unconditional love and understanding what that really truly looks like and how to implement that in my life. And I've known for many, many years that that is actually what I'm here for, to dissolve anything in my body that doesn't resonate with unconditional love. And let's just say that's been quite the journey. And I'm not there yet, but I've I've taken a big chunk off.
Yeah. Like, what does that look like in real time for you in your life? Or maybe you encounter like a revelation of there's something there that I can allow to fall away, or there's something there that I recognize is actually unconditional love where I didn't know that it was before. Are you having moments like these, or is it kind of like a gradual evolution for you in your being?
I have opportunities to be unconditional love every moment of every day. But I will say the thing that's most present for me right now in this moment is I speaking of Jesus, I was raised in the Mormon church. I was a very devoted for 47 years of my life. And when I say, like, when I go all in with something, it is, I'll just say it's over the top. It's over the top. When I'm dedicated to something, I go all in. And so being dedicated to the church for so long and it literally being my whole life and my family's life and the foundation of why I got married, who I married, it's my life. Um, when I had a spiritual awakening and had to start asking myself some really deep questions and being brave enough to sit with the answers and realize, like, oh, I'm a spiritual being. Religion doesn't fit in my box anymore. What happens is, I would say if I gave it a rough estimate, like 95% of the people that I used to feel close to, feel aligned with, have fallen out of my life. And as I had this spiritual awakening, I realized I had these gifts that came with it, and I didn't expect it. I didn't see it coming. Um, I didn't think I was going to come out of the closet with it for, I mean, hopefully another 30 years. But Spirit said, it's time. It's time for you to use your gifts. It's time for you to bless people's lives with your gift. It's actually time for you to help heal yourself through these gifts. And so I had to have a conversation with my kids about it. Um, you know, being a psychic and a medium isn't really a big thing that people are excited about in the Mormon church. It's frowned upon just a little.
Mm.
And it's just misunderstood. People just, they haven't had to go there. And I completely understand it, but I'm having a conversation with my oldest son about it because I didn't want him to find out on Facebook.
Mhm.
And at the end of the conversation, he said, I'm going to need a break. Me and my family are going to need a break from you. and I'm not sure how long that's going to last. And you know, he has a wife who I adore. He has two little girls who are just the most precious thing in my life. And that was hard for me. That was really hard for me. I cried a lot. I had to really, really deeply grieve. And I'm still not completely through it, to be quite honest. But you know, I cried for 2 days. Um, I wondered why. Like, why is this thing that I've been given, this like gift, this like spirit's asked me to do something and it's going to separate me from the people that I love the most? Like, this is mean. This feels cruel. I don't
Mm.
understand. So I sat in that. And then a couple days later, I realized, like, Minda, what, like yeah, this sucks. There's no way around it. Like, this is really hard. This is one of the hardest things you've ever had to do, and you've done some hard shit.
Mm.
But I realized that love looks like, if you want this, then this is what I want for you.
Mm.
And so I called him and I sent him, I actually sent him a voicemail, and I just said, I love you so much, and I completely understand where you're coming from. I understand why. I understand, you know, as much as I can, putting myself in your shoes. And if this is what you really want, this is what I want for you. I love you so much. Take your time, take all the time you need, and I'll just be here. And I sent it to him, and I thought, that that's what love is. That's what love is. I've been working my whole life to get to a point where I can actually do that and feel good about it and let it go. And the next day I woke up and I let it go. I energetically just let him go. And it's grace. That's what grace is. That's what unconditional love is. That's what the Christ consciousness is. That's the book that I'm going to be studying for the next 3 years, so I can deepen my well, so that I can extend that to myself and everyone in my field. Everyone I come in contact with gets that kind of love from me.
This is such a sacred space that I could just sit here with you for the rest of the day.
Hmm.
You filled this container that we are both in right now, and also the people who are watching and listening, you filled it with that. Thank you.
Hmm.
Thank you for bringing that experience to me, to us, so that we can feel it too.
Yeah. This is what life's about. You know, at the end of the day, it really is. It's not about what we have, it's not about what we accumulate, it's not about um, our status, it's not about our friends. It's really about, like, how loving were we? How loving are we in every moment? It's the only thing that matters. And, you know, being able to really be close to the spirit world, I understand that on a really, really deep level. The spirit world is pure love. There's no lack, there's no limitation, there's no separation. And we actually have the opportunity to live that right here, right now. Heaven is right here, right now, when we create it for ourselves.
Yeah. I love that as you were speaking it, it in real time became more than just a possibility. And for you as a human being with feelings, with needs, maybe, with desires, with dreams, how do you, what is your experience of yourself in being able to have the capacity for such a quality caliber of love that some people call divine?
Well, let's just take a minute and say I'm not like this all the time. You just got the best of me. Oh my gosh, I live with a man. I live with a man who is such a beautiful human, but he tests me every day. You know, I need a lot of alone time, a lot. I mean, I could be on an island by myself for I don't even know how long until I recognized I was alone. So, and you know, the other day I'm like, Minda, I'm gonna make a goal. I'm just gonna start talking nice to Todd from now on. Imagine that. Imagine that. You know, every single day for at least the last 10 years, the first thing that pops up on my computer every morning is Todd gets my best today. Todd gets my best today because I don't want him to get my leftovers. This is the man that I have committed to spending my life with. And I don't want him to get the leftovers. I got my parents' leftovers. And I want this man who I've chosen to get the best of me. And I got to be honest, he doesn't get the best of me a lot. And so I'm cleaning that up. I'm cleaning that up. I catch myself. You know what? That's the beauty of this is as I've been on this path, I'm more aware. I catch myself. I hear Gary Muller in my ear, clean it up, Minda, clean it up. Except it goes like this, Minda. I love his voice so much. Clean it up. But that's what this is about because you know I have a big ego. I have things that I feel like are really important, even though they may or may not be. I feel like I need to be heard. I feel like I need to be seen. And I'm always just checking in with myself. I'm always checking in with the possibility of how can I be fully human and fully divine at the same time? Live this full human experience because it's rocky. Mine has been rocky. And how can I also have divinity in every single moment?
Mhm.
What was your question? Squirrel.
And I love to ask the question again, like in a different frame, because now I'm curious. What is your experience of yourself having unleashed your magic?
Hmm. I do feel magical. I'm not gonna lie. My life feels magical. I a lot of times just sit in the wonder and awe of this creation of life because it hasn't always been like this. I know the contrast. I know it really well. There are parts of my life that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. And so I understand the deep contrast. And this life that I've created, I mean, I wake up in the morning, I'm like, how? This is I've been traveling for 2 years. I've just been going wherever I want to go for 2 years, and somehow, without we don't have a job, we don't have visas, we're just coming and going as we please. We've been in England in some of the most insanely beautiful places since March. Insane, like you can't make this up. Insane, and my experience of it is this is what we get to experience when we are in the flow of life, when we recognize even the tiniest. I mean, there probably isn't one rose that I don't stop and smell on my walk every morning. I just look at each one of them and you are so radiant. Look at you. Look at these petals. Thank you for this fragrance. Thank you for like bringing me so much joy. The little bumblebees on the lavender, I just could watch them all day long. Like just like literally marinating in the smallest, tiniest details that bring so much joy. And those are the kinds of things that I didn't have the opportunity to experience when I was in the trenches. Everything felt really heavy and dark and dense. And bumblebee, like, who gives a shit about the bumblebees? Does anyone know what's happening over here? Right? So it feels so good to be in this space and in this place. And also to hold the contrast. Life is really challenging. I am definitely living the full human experience. I am definitely on the spiritual path. It's never going to slow down for me. I'm just understanding that I have a deeper well. I have a deeper well. I have more tools to draw from. I have a deeper capacity to be with what comes up, be with the discomfort. I feel like I'm pretty masterful at being uncomfortable. And I think that's one of the secrets to life. When we're not afraid of the discomfort, because we're actually not afraid of the thing. We're not afraid of death. We're not afraid of dying. We're not afraid of running our car off the road. We're not afraid of starving to death. We're afraid of how we're going to feel.
Mm.
And if we haven't learned how to be with those feelings, it's terrifying.
Wow. Wow. Hmm. It's like awkward silence versus sudden heart attack, and someone may choose the latter, which is that's huge. That's huge. So, do you prepare yourself for discomfort? Are you friends with discomfort? Can you talk about your relationship with it?
Yeah, yeah. Um, I realized, let's see, when did the discomfort really, really start? When I adopted, when Todd and I adopted our son, it started to get really uncomfortable. And I didn't have any tools back then. I didn't handle it well. I had I don't know what a mental breakdown looks like, but I broke down a lot. And then I actually, in 2019, Spirit led me to this certification program, like a coaching program. And I learned about our thoughts that create our feelings. I learned that we can get really good at being uncomfortable. Like that's a skill. That's a thing. That's part of emotional intelligence, to just really understand that this feeling won't kill me. And that actually, like big feelings, they come and go like waves. They leave every 90 seconds and we can call them back with our thoughts, but they really are gone. They're like through our body in 90 seconds. And so I learned all these things and I'm like, wow, this is incredible. And then my life just progressively got really challenging, and then even more challenging, and then more challenging, to where I was in bed. I was just, I was unable to function. And that's when I sat in the most debilitating discomfort. This was a time when it felt like not just one or two things were falling apart in my life, it was everything at the same time, which I know I'm that stubborn. I know that that's how it has to work for me. I'm aware of that. I get it. I called it in. But I sat in excruciating discomfort. And there's also this part of us as humans, as survivors, that at some point we say, this isn't too much for me. This is not too much for me. All I have to do is surrender. What if I just relaxed my jaw, relaxed my shoulders, sunk into this, and realized it's not going to hurt me? What if I just did that over and over and over and over again until it's not a problem? Discomfort for me, it genuinely is not a problem. I'll be like, technology, absolutely. I come unglued. If I can't figure something out in 10 minutes, I turn into a different human. And the whole time I'm like, this isn't a problem. My big emotions, my reactions, like Todd, I'm actually not upset. It might appear like I am, but like none of this is a problem. And I genuinely mean it. I just have these words that need to come out of my mouth. When I'm in deep, deep grief, I would say I spent 2 years crying every single day. I probably cry 3 days a week now, but this is just what I do. It's not a problem. I would have thought it was a problem in the past for sure,
Yeah.
but there was so much in me that needed to come out that I cried every day. And it wasn't a problem. It's just what we do. We brush our teeth, we eat breakfast, we cry. It's not a big deal. I mean, laughing and crying, there's no difference to me. There's
Mhm.
no difference. It's just a release.
Hmm. Hmm. There's something that you're bringing up here that is like this threshold between like physical and emotional and all of the other realms that it touches to, spiritual, just all of it, right? And the question that it brings up is like, what does that actually look like in real time to be with these things? And here's an example is that about 8 years ago, I broke my tibia and fibula,
Mm,
essentially my leg, right?
mm,
And I went to the wrong hospital for my insurance.
mm.
So they didn't take me in to have like to do an x-ray and stuff like that. They're like, you have to go to the other hospital. I was like, oh,
Oh,
okay. Yeah, no
goodness.
problem. I'll walk myself over there, right?
Wow.
I made it to the other hospital and they were like, oh, awesome. Our orthopedic surgeon isn't in. Yeah, this is a holiday weekend, my friend, so we'll get you in when we can. And I laid in bed with a broken leg for a week before
Mm,
they were able to operate. I
mm,
did not cry any of the time. Not when it broke, the bones broke, not when they sent me home. I cried when I was challenged with giving myself a bath slash shower because I couldn't do it myself and I had to ask for help. That was the first
mm.
thing that brought tears for me in that whole situation.
Wow. Yeah, wow to that.
Yeah. Why do you, Minda, are these things so different to hold? Like they're just pain, they're just
Mhm,
sensations, they're
mhm.
just releases. But why the big difference in how it is that we hold them from your experience? What is that like for you?
Okay, so what's the specific question?
How is it that you're able to hold
Mm,
these discomforts in these
mhm,
different realms the way
mhm.
that you do? Whether it's
Um,
physical, whether it's emotional and making space for you to cry, whether it's
yeah,
spiritual, like how do these things register for you being who you
mm.
are?
I feel like it's a muscle.
Hmm.
I feel like there's some points in your life where I don't have a choice but to surrender. Like you can keep fighting, you can keep making yourself completely miserable. You can keep bringing on more pain. What that does is that all that resistance just layers the pain, or you just get to a point where I surrendered. I just literally surrendered. I gave it. When I realized that I have an entire team of ancestors and spirit guides and archangels and love, I mean, a team full of people on the other side who are very invested in me, and I can tune in and I can tap into that, and we can tackle anything together. I mean, I just think about this army in the spirit world who is on my team, who's invested. and we can conquer anything together. Before I understood this, I really did have this sense of loneliness. Like I'm here by myself. Like I got to figure this out on my own.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of Capricorn in me, Capricorn energy, and I'm like, I got this. Do not worry about me. And I see that in you too, right? Like you break your leg and you're like, I'm fine. It's fine. I'm not in pain. Right? Like we have to put on these masks, these person like, no, I'm a badass. And a lot of that is it's a mask. It's because we had to do that as kids. But then asking for help is the thing that's gonna break you, right? I mean, that broken leg wasn't an accident. That was the best initiation you'd had up into that point of your life. And so initiation after initiation after initiation, when your whole world breaks down and you have no choice but to surrender to something greater, it's really the best gift I've been given. It really is.
Mm, got it. Got it. And from what I'm hearing, maybe that you've said or haven't said, is that surrender is not necessarily a singular event.
Oh, no, not for most of us. I mean, if you're a quick learner, sure. A lot of us had to do it on our own. A lot of us did feel like we didn't have a lot of support. It's a trauma response. And and for me it took a literal crashing down of my whole life.
Mm,
And then you surrender. And then you just keep doing it over and over and over. And you get
mhm.
really good at it. And then you embrace it. It's like a friend.
Yeah. Is surrender at this point in your journey, is surrender something that falls into that category of discomfort for you, or is it something that you're comfortable with now?
The surrender is like a giant exhale after you've been holding your breath for 10 minutes. The
Mm,
surrender is when you're like, oh, fine, I forgot this was an option because my humanness wanted to do this on, oh, I remember this is an option. And then you realize I'm not alone here. The surrender is to something greater than me. The surrender is knowing that I'm held, knowing that I'm so supported, knowing that we're playing a game. You know, this life is a game. This life is a game. And we're not even like the Mario guy who's trying to save the princess. We're the controller. Like we're the person outside of the TV. Like we have full control of this game and how we're going to play it. And then we have all these people here that are super invested in the outcome of our game.
mm,
And once we really can, like, I sit every morning remembering that. I sit every single morning with my guides. We make a plan for the day. I call on them. They know exactly what the desires of my heart are. They know what's happening in my world. They know what I want to create. They know what I'm struggling with. And we play this game together. Every single day, in every moment of every day, we play this game together. It's crucial for me.
yeah. Yeah. There's one word that you said that really landed with me. That word was together. And it seems like there's different levels of together. There's the together, like what you're referring to, how there is this partnership that you get to lean into to simply be and exist throughout your day. And then perhaps there's also a together like us being here on the screen for the people that are watching. Maybe there's a level of together for between us that are here on this side of the screen and you, the one who's watching us on the other side of the screen. Like there's together in all of these different dimensions, right? How is
Mm,
it possible for us to feel alone?
mm-hmm,
What does that serve?
mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that it's what we've been taught. And then when we realize that we're not, this is when life gets so sweet. This is what grace is. You know, I'm writing a book right now. It's called Saved by Grace. The title was given to me, the book was downloaded to me. I am not a writer. I had no intentions of writing a book, but it came in and it landed on my chest. It's like, we're not leaving until you say you're going to start writing. I'm like, okay, I guess I don't want a book on my chest for the rest of my life. So I said, what's the title? And they said, Saved by Grace. I'm like, I don't really, I mean, okay, I get it, but I don't. And then literally 8 weeks later, I was sitting at the feet of Sadhguru at an ashram in India in a program called The Grace of Yoga, sitting at the feet of a master, learning what grace is. Grace is the lubrication that makes life worth living. Grace is understanding that we're so held, we're so supported, that there's no lack, there's no separation, there's no darkness, there's no density, ever. Ever. And when we wake up to that realization, like really wake up to that true realization, and it burns in our heart, we can live a life full of grace. And you know, the reason why the book title is Saved by Grace is because in religion, we learn that grace is something that, like, you do everything that you can do, like effort, 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 work, 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 sweat, 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 toil, toil, toil. And then after everything you can do, then Jesus will kick in. But like, who gets to decide if it's all you can do? Who gets to decide if, like, okay, that's the line. That's all you can do. That's enough. You've done enough. Right? So you just keep efforting and efforting and efforting and thinking maybe that's enough, but you're like, it's probably not. So I'm going to keep efforting. That's what grace felt like to me in my personal experience.
Wow.
And now that I understand that grace is just a gift from the universe, this connection, this togetherness, this oneness, that I am not separate from you or the blade of grass or the chair or the dog. I'm not separate from any of it. That's grace. When I really get that, when I really understand that, when I really live by that, when it becomes my new way of being, that's grace.
Mhm. Being grace. Got it. Got it. Um, for for me, grace is part of an acronym that I have for magic,
Mm,
which is miracles and grace and co-creation.
mm-hmm.
Like, to think of grace and miracles as like almost like beingnesses that we can work with,
Mm-hmm.
similar
Yeah,
to how you were describing. Like, what?
yeah.
There's a whole world of possibility that begins to open up in terms of capacity, in terms
Mm-hmm.
of just
Mm-hmm.
the kind of human being that we get to be. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you for presencing that in that way. Has me get it on a whole other level, and can't wait to read your book.
Mm. Me too. I think I have 2 more chapters. It's been a long time coming.
Nice. Nice. And of course, there's the fact that it's about grace, but you're also receiving it through grace.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
look at
yeah.
that.
And I'm weaving in the stories of my life, right? I'm weaving in the stories, telling my stories, but the broader story is, this is what this is what is available to us when we tap into the sweetness of life.
Mhm.
This is what's available. I mean, I have a client who the thing we talked about for 60 whole minutes is how mind-blowing her life is. I mean, we just went on and on and on and on and on and talked about, you know what she said? She
Okay.
goes, Minda, I just got a job offer in my favorite spot in the entire world. I've had this picture on my screensaver for 5 years of Waimea Bay, and somebody just offered me a job as a midwife right there, like where the circle is on my phone. I said, that's how it works, my love. That's how it works. You've been staring at that every single day for 5 years. Of course God is going to send you a job offer for the perfect line of work that you're in the perfect space. Of course, but you know what, the work that we did together to get her to this point where she's in this frequency and this vibration
Yeah.
was no short of, I don't even know how to quantify it. We walked through darkness and pain and grief and a breakup and a breakdown. And now that we're on the other side and we just get to celebrate the miracles, because she's vibrating in the frequency of miracles. There's no doubt about it. They're everywhere. I mean, she just couldn't stop talking about it. Those are the fun conversations. That's grace. That is grace. And you know, grace does require action. She had to go walk through those fiery nights and those steps. She had to take those steps. She had to do that. She didn't do it alone, but she was the one that moved her feet.
Mhm.
And now she's reaping these incredible rewards being in this frequency of unconditional love, which, you know, unconditional love, the frequency is abundance. That's what it is. And part of this 3-year study of the way of mastery, if I can circle back for a moment, when we vibrate in that frequency, nothing can be withheld from us. Nothing. And that's what I'm about. That's what I want to learn. Like, it's inevitable that there's always money coming into my account. It's inevitable that people in my life are the most rich, delicious, juicy friendships that I've ever had. It's inevitable that my husband and I are so deeply intimate and connected in every single way. It's inevitable that the food that is on my plate every single day is the most nourishing, gorgeous, colorful, vibrant, ripe, you know, whole foods that I can imagine. It's inevitable. It's inevitable. And I want that for everyone. I want everyone to be able to experience that. It's inevitable.
It is. It is. Mm.
You have the best laugh, hands down. I wonder if you'll record it for me and I can like just play it every day at 3 o'clock when I'm like feeling a little bit like I need to pick me up.
Creating that as a possibility.
Okay, I'm creating.
Minda, just in
Always.
case. Oh, yes. ABC, always be creating. Just in case someone is listening to this, then they're like, yeah, you know, I want that.
The
I want
miracles. Let's go.
yeah. And the inevitability of
Yeah.
abundance and all these things, like, how can someone find you and reach out to you? And I don't know, are you working with people? What does that look like?
Yeah, you know what? Spirit just helped me create a website. I did the whole thing in 10 days. The copy was downloaded to me. There's some beautiful pictures from us in Morocco and in France. And it all just came together because that's what happens, right? When we're being led and guided and it's soul aligned, everything just falls into place. And so, you know, I love working with women that are awakening to something deeper.
Mm.
Something is stirring inside of them and they're not even really maybe sure what it is,
Yeah.
but something's stirring. And it's a lot of times it's women who are in the 40s and 50s and beyond, where life, you know, that builder part of life where we're trying to establish ourselves and we're sometimes in the push energy and maybe we've been burnt out and we're ready to receive. We're ready to learn and understand what it is to receive, because that's another juicy part of the unconditional love frequency. Is giving and receiving is the exact same. There's no different. And we as women have a real big block with receiving. We just do as a collective. And I'm here to shift it. I'm here to help women understand that giving does feel better. Like, actually, it's been proven that there's more like serotonin or dopamine that happens in our receptors when we're giving.
Yeah.
But that receiving piece is literally the opposite side of the same coin. And when we're receiving, someone gets the dopamine from giving and vice versa. So it's just called the flow of abundance. And when we're in the flow of abundance, the richness and the juiciness of life is literally inevitable. And here's my superpower. I can see things before people can see them for themselves. And I hold that vision for them until they can see it for themselves. And I'm willing to walk through whatever fire is required because I've done it myself. I've been through the fire. There's not much I can't relate to at this point in my life. And I don't take that lightly. I take it as the greatest gift I've ever been given. Like, I don't know how I'm still alive. I got to be honest. Like, there have been moments in my life where if someone would have pushed my car off a cliff, I would have said thank you. It's been a long road to get here. And I know we each walk through our own fire. I am not alone here, but I am very committed. I'm very dedicated to helping women walk through that fire because, we need support. We need somebody who can hold that vision. We need somebody in the dark night of the soul when we feel like we're so alone. We really do need somebody to stand for us and to show us that there's light at the end of the tunnel and to walk us through that tunnel, and also to hold the vision of the beauty that's on the other side, because what is on the other side is so miraculous, so spectacular, so illuminating, more beautiful than we could ever imagine. Usually, I play this game with spirit and I make a vision board every year and I'm like, this is my wildest dream. This is what, like, the like, I can only dream this big. Like, my brain only has so much capacity. And by the end of the year, I'm like, damn, I could not have dreamed that up. That just, you just outdid my expectations. Then I have some pretty high expectations. And that's the life I'm living right now. And that's the life that is available for everyone. Is to be able to wake up every single morning and, like, I can't wait to live this day. I can't wait to see what kind of miracles. I can't wait to see who I meet. What conversations do I get to have? Whose life do I get to bless? Every day. And then you cry and you brush your teeth and you get on with it. It's the contrast, I'm telling you. It's the contrast.
Mm. Mm. Which could also be perceived as, the mundane,
Yeah.
right? If we choose that, to presence a miracle in your life as mundane, like that's
It's
something.
just the way it is. Right? It's just the way it is. But we never want to get used to it. Because when we get used to it, we stop looking for it. We stop pointing it out. I every single day at the end of the day, I'm like, what's my daily delight? I at least one thing, no matter what's happening, what's the daily delight? And it can be the tiniest thing, but every time we point out a miracle, every time we say thank you, every time we savor a moment, like when something if something's in front of me that is so beautiful and delicious and somebody's prepared it, and I take a moment, I take at least 30 seconds to really lean into, gosh, I'm so grateful for this. I'm so grateful for the farmers who grew this. I'm so grateful for the hands that picked it. I'm so grateful for those who placed it in a basket and put it at the farmer's market. And I'm so grateful that it's just here for me. And now it's on my plate and it's going to nourish and sustain me. And this food is actually medicine for me, right? This food is medicine. And I'm so grateful for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Minda. What's the website address again?
It's called mindethemedium.com. Yeah, I'm out. I'm out with it. We talked about this being my coming out party, and you know what? Let's go. It really has taken a quite an extraordinary amount of courage for me to just be out with it and to be able to like say I'm a medium.
Mhm.
And I also I don't take it lightly. I think it's a really sacred stewardship that I have. And I'm in awe every single time I get to call in someone's guides or um, call in someone's ancestors and give beautiful messages. The messages are so pure, they're so beautiful. I never know what's going to happen when I sit with someone. I sat with two people today, and at the end I kind of just sit there in a puddle, and I'm just in awe. And they're healed and I'm healed, and it's the most amazing work in the world. It's the most amazing work in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Your daily delight.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing yourself and the miracle that you are.
Yeah. And thank you for this opportunity. I think that you are such a I feel energy and I see pictures, so it's hard for me to use words, but I don't want to I want to do this justice, but like you're such a warm human being. You're such a like you there's no gap between meeting you and loving you,
Mm,
meeting you and knowing you, meeting you and understanding you, because you're open, you're warm, you're you're here for life. Like you're really here to experience life in a way that is I feels childlike, like childlike wonder, where you just get to be in the moment and savor every moment and laugh in every moment and experience joy in every moment. And you know what, one thing that I love so much too about your relationship, and I've only met Boo Boo Bear through the camera, but you know, when we met up in Morocco, you were there because you expressed that you wanted to go have an adventure. And he said, how are we going to make that happen? Let's make that happen. And I think it's so important and so beautiful and rare to be surrounded by people who want the dreams that we want for ourselves and that are going to champion us and they're going to cheerlead us and they're going to stand by us and might even sacrifice for us so that we can be in our full expression, so that we can live our life, so that we can do what it is that we're here to do in this world. And I think it's such a beautiful thing, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your partner. I just think you have such a beautiful life that you've created. And I just want to acknowledge that.
thank you, Minda. I received that. Thank you for being here. May our co-creation continue.
Yeah.
And yeah, I see you. It's an honor.
It is. It's an honor to walk this world with like-minded and loving beings. It really is. It's grace. This is grace.
And so it is.
Mm. Aho.